Welcome back to the USF Oracle Sports Podcast. My name is Mithil Vyas. I am the sports editor here. I'm joined by Tobey Blair, the assistant sports editor.
Hello.
I'm also joined by special guest and former multimedia correspondent Will Rainsberger.
What's up?
How's it going?
No, it's good. It's
Very
good. Glad to
We
be
are
here.
Also joined by the man behind the camera again, Zahir Nelson.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
There we go. He got his mic working also. So today we're going to be talking about a wide variety of subjects, obviously football, FAU. Tobey, if you want to get started with that game.
Interesting game. I feel like this is every week. I just say the game was interesting. Football is interesting to me. That's why
there's a lot of stuff that happens.
That's why my job revolves around it.
A lot of downs, a lot of throws, a lot of handing off the ball.
Sometimes they even run it.
Not for FAU, though.
A lot for FAU.
Not for FAU.
Negative 13 coming into the
fourth quarter, negative 13 rushing yards.
23 total rushing yards.
Not a good beat for the Owls, but I mean, overall, super interesting game. We talked a lot about, and I don't want to get into the semantics here, but we talked a lot going in, me and Ricky last week, about the rivalry. Safe to say that was probably maybe put to bed. You lose by 30, you'll get them next year. But what an interesting game. Seemed kind of like what we said, where it was just kind of like this tune-up game, and now you get to play Memphis, which is, I mean, obviously your job maybe with Memphis is a little bit easier because they kind of blew it against UAB. I wanted to go to College game day, but alas, I will just go to Memphis.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, interesting take there. But yeah, I think we talked about it a little bit ago, maybe last week as well. Tobey will be in Memphis for the game this Saturday at noon.
I will be in Memphis.
So tune into the website for live updates.
Live updates on our away game. That's our third away game. We have live updates.
I'm about to say that's a really
UF,
good streak.
Miami,
Memphis. Yeah, that'll be really good.
I
agree with what you said with it being a tune-up game. I think it's like a really interesting thing. You know, having that, like an in-state thing, as much as like the chagrin of people who are USF fans right now, a lot of older guys, especially on Twitter, who don't want to call it a rivalry. It does feel cool to play like an in-state team. It's like the UF game at the beginning of the year. A lot of hype on that. So coming out of that with a good dub makes you feel a lot better going into Memphis.
Yeah, and obviously. Oh, no, you can go ahead.
Okay, I will go ahead. Yeah, I think it was a super interesting game. Byram Brown, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns. Leading rusher again, much to Alex Golesh's dismay. But that's seemingly been kind of the way this team has been going. 10.5 yards per pass. But I think the big story that you have going in here is no turnovers.
Yes.
Which was obviously a gigantic deal after North Texas, even Charlotte, even South Carolina State.
Yeah.
Very interesting game that was. I mean, what was that, 4 turnovers that week?
Dude. A lot of turnovers in
the last few weeks, yeah, definitely.
UNT specifically. I mean, that's why I think that game looked so weird by the half. You're giving away the ball, and sure they weren't able to capitalize on it, but it doesn't matter. I mean, football. They always say it's a game of momentum. So shifting momentum like that is just so not good for the prospectus of a team. So to come out and do that and not have a turnover, yeah, that's really looks good for next week.
Yeah, especially with the way that it's. Regardless of if you want to talk about the rivalry or this or that or whatever, it is a little heated, kind of like these, especially the thing that I love about in-state matchups in a state like Florida, where there are so many people, is that ultimately a lot of these guys grew up playing football together. They played football in high school, 7-on-7, they played football. They have, like, a lot of these guys are in-state guys that have known each other and played. So there's that extra element of like when you play a team like Memphis, a lot of these guys don't know each other.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
But with a game like against FAU or against Florida or against Miami, it's like a lot of these kids know each other, and that creates that extra thing. And for South Florida, it's like, well, eventually you have to run into the trap game. Memphis just did. They ran into UAB, lost their head coach, backup quarterback, gets it done. I mean, insanity, but that's kind of what college football's at. Like it feels like the league is as parity-wise, like good as it can be. But USF for another week avoids that trap game. Obviously going into Memphis, I don't know that it would be a trap game. It's a really good team, but then you kind of go on a little bit further with that. It'll be super interesting to see.
Yeah, going into Memphis, it looks like this team might try and fight tooth and nail. I think you said it yesterday or something. We were talking about it. That obviously, since that loss against UAB was such a big deal, dropped them out of the rankings, might not be such a big deal to Alex Golesh, who we talked to earlier. But Memphis definitely wants to make a statement here. This game will have major implications on not just the American, but also the college football playoff. I think USF right now has like a 45% chance to make it as their group of 5 candidate. And that's something maybe some people didn't see a few years ago. Obviously, this is the fastest they've become bowl eligible under Alex Golesh. And I think the fastest since 2018.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think you got to be with that. I completely agree. I think the weird thing looking forward into the Memphis game is you're kind of conflicted on, like, are you happy they lost last week or are you upset they lost last week, right? Like, moving to the side, like the college game day atmosphere, coming off a loss, Memphis looks like they're going to be hungry to come in and reestablish themselves as the leader of the American, at least in the the odds wise moving into, like you said, American Conference Finals and the playoffs. So that is the scary part, but also because of how that game went, we do have a lot of good insights on things that will look good for USF if we're moving into Memphis. I mean, just talking about UAB being able to cut down on the rushing game, that's something that I feel like we've been able to consistently do throughout most of the early games in the season, or at least somewhat consistently do. So it looks a little bit better, but the defensive line, I think, is really what it's going to come down to. And Mac Harris, I mean, doing his job. So, I mean, almost 6 sacks on the season. That's really, really, really looking good towards stopping, a quarterback that's known to run. But we also don't know if they're going to be using him because of injury talk.
He's hurt. So it definitely will be interesting. And I think the biggest thing is that, like, any way you slice it for the Tigers, your season's on the line.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have a shot at the conference. I mean, I guess you technically do, but like Clemson technically has a shot at the ACC title, whatever. Oh, yeah. This is your make or break game. But this is what we've been saying. And even with Koki Riley, the AP poll voter we talked about, he said, and I kind of agree, and I still do, Memphis was ranked higher than USF 2 weeks ago. And the entire thing, the entire argument that a lot of people had was really, what has Memphis done? Their signature win is a 1-point win over Arkansas,
yeah.
where Arkansas had the ball on the 10-yard line and just fumbled it.
Yeah.
It was just like Georgia Tech, Miami. Sorry to hear, but this is the thing. And then you go at UAB, who just fired their coach. They're 3-4. They were 2-4 when they played, and you lose 31-24. I mean, I know your quarterback goes down. You don't have Brendan Lewis. AJ Hill steps in, goes 13 for 25, 175 yards, completing 50% of his passes. I mean, it's just like, this is the thing where it does kind of become dangerous, though, because it's like, well, now this team really has to absolutely, I guess, lock in. I don't want to use that. It doesn't feel professional, but like lock in.
Yeah, I mean, just to be colloquial with it. Yeah, I mean, if Brendan Lewis doesn't play, especially too, he is one of their top 3 rushing. I mean, if not one. I mean, he's rushed 86 times on the year. That's not well above, but at least 10 above the second, which is Sutton Smith. So just looking by numbers, that's a huge part of their game. Is going to now become very one-dimensional.
Yeah, and also not to discredit him, even though he's day-to-day with an injury, but we kind of see that out of South Florida too. Byron Brown, I mean, he has 99 carries for 475 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think Alex Golesh has kind of harped on this every week, how he wants to get the ground game going. And it's just something we haven't completely seen outside of him. But, I mean, there's opportunities there. Obviously, against UNT, we saw at the end of the game Chase Garnett,
yeah.
I mean,
which we didn't see much of out of FAU. It didn't seem. It was really mostly Davenport is what it seemed to be. Davenport, a little bit of Sam Franklin, and, of course, Alvon Isaac.
But I think Alvin Isaac went down with an injury, but Golesh said he's fine.
Yeah.
He'll be back for this game.
But yeah, I mean, it seems that the rushing room, USF wise, has a lot of depth, and it's just a matter of figuring out who's hot on the day. And you have the same 3-dimensional look with Byron Brown. But like you said, if Alex Golesh doesn't want to run him, we're going to have to start throwing. Which that's another issue. When Chaz Nimrod, one of your bigger guys is out, that starts to be, it looks a little thin. But Jeremiah Coger looked really good. I think, especially in that FAU game, he had a big catch there midway through that really made me feel a little bit better about our wide receiver situation.
And the younger guys seem to be stepping up. Obviously, Koger, Neptune. Maybe Ruben, he's not a younger guy, but he's obviously just coming in. But I think something that we didn't see last year from the passing game was the tight ends.
Jonathan Eccles, yeah.
And White Sullivan. Both of them got in the end zone last week.
Yeah.
Very, very good to see for South Florida that you can have tight ends that are doing what a tight end should do: pass block, run block, catching the ball for touchdowns.
Yeah,
yards, touchdowns, everything.
Yeah, that has been really interesting. I think earlier in the season, me and Mithil talked about how Christian Neptune had really come out of his shell. It seems like he's kind of taken a step back, but where he took a step back, Koger has 12 receptions, 259 yards.
Oh, yeah.
That is insanity. 21 yards per reception. That's more than Nimrod has.
Oh, yeah.
Nimrod has 10 more receptions. But I think something interesting that you were talking about with Lewis, Memphis's now injured quarterback. He's day-to-day. So, I mean, and realistically, they're gonna not say anything about that until as late as they can.
What's interesting about South Florida moving forward, I think, with defense the most is Mac Harris is almost 6 sacks in the season so far.
Yeah, you talked about that a little bit earlier.
So I think that's really interesting. But he also sacks for 25 yards. Same thing with Fred Gaskin, having a sack that put him back to 21, and a slew of interceptions. I mean, throughout your entire secondary. I mean, that's something that, you look at Mac Harris, who had an interception that went 93 yards, right, all the way back to the house. And then, Jarvis Lee with 53, Fred Gaskin, Rico Watson, and Jalen Schuler all getting one over 20 or 30 yards. And you got a guy, potentially on the bench from the second quarterback coming out, that's where you start thinking, is this going to be a pick game? A game where picks are flying all over the place from A.J. Hill. I mean, he already threw one in the last game he played.
Yeah, in his first start.
First start thrown out there. So,
Not his first start.
Well, first start this season.
Through the season, at least.
I think there's some guys you missed on the defense there, Will. Tavin Ward.
Yeah.
Tavin Ward's been flying around.
Yeah.
Some guys on the defensive line that have been making an influence. Josh Seliskar and Devin Lee both transferred this season.
Yeah.
They've been causing some damage, and I think some other places we've seen some damage are the AP poll. Obviously, a lot of
shakeups. Yeah.
A lot of teams lost this week. This past weekend, I think it was 4 or 5.
I believe 4 or 5 were big upsets. I mean, obviously the biggest one
Miami.
is Miami. I mean,
Miami.
it was
Miami.
That was such an insane situation. I mean, Carson Beck throws 4 picks and
Should have been 5 too.
Yeah,
Definitely should have.
And I don't want to get in too much of this I can't even think of the word, but there was a roughing the passer call that came out for him that I kind of was a little bit like, oh, that's kind of soft. But I other than that, I mean, they did not have a good game. And Louisville, who it wasn't a bad team, I mean, coming in 4-1 and beating a Miami puts you at 19. I think
Probably should put you higher.
Probably
Definitely
should put you
should be a little
higher. I
higher.
think you should be a bit higher. I think definitely above, South Florida. I think, USF has proven to be a really good team in both of the early season and now in conference play. But if you're Louisville and you're in the ACC and you beat up on Miami, number 2 in the country.
Yeah, beat up on Miami, who beat up on South Florida.
Yeah, it's kind of feel like you should be above.
Very interesting there.
Yeah.
Also, I think Tennessee's also higher than both South Florida and Louisville, who I think Tennessee has 2 losses now.
Tennessee is
They're 17.
17.
They moved down 6.
What about Texas? Where is Texas in the
Texas should be 23,
Okay,
22.
that makes sense.
They're at 22.
Yeah. I did see a voter put them much higher than that. I think around 15, which I thought was very interesting.
We've had a great deal of things with AP poll voters.
Yeah.
But how about this? How about BYU?
Yeah.
Oh my.
BYU.
That defense is electric.
It
Can I
looks
ask a
great.
question? And
Did you watch the Arizona game?
Arizona
BYU.
No.
It was a very interesting game. It was
wasn't.
very late. It was very
It was
late.
really,
And
really
it
late.
was it was a nail biter that they won.
I was
at
watching
the end there.
I watched the Holy War though.
Yeah, it was against Utah. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
But can I ask a question? And I asked this very genuinely. Why does their quarterback wear number 47?
That's a good question. It's not a very
Is that like a BYU thing?
It's
or
not really a
'cause,
quarterbacky number.
Because I saw it. I was reading an article about it from I don't remember the name, but the BYU student newspaper, and it was interesting because I was like, oh yeah, like that's their quarterback, and then it dawned upon me he's wearing the number 47.
Yeah.
And so I was like, maybe that's a BYU thing. And so I was like, okay, well who's a quarterback that I associate with BYU? Oh yeah, Zach Wilson. No, he wore like number 1,
like a normal
number.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like something he's had since he was a kid. I don't know. 47's a random number. That's not even like a lineman number. That's like a
fullback
yeah,
number.
That's like a Mike Allstott.
That's actually well, yeah. But anyway, back to the game.
Back to the game.
What a game! What a game! And
oh yeah,
I mean, it was just there's been a lot of stuff like that in college football. Alabama's up to number 4. Wow.
They've kind of had a weird comeback. I mean, after losing to FSU at the beginning of the year, everyone kind of was like, okay, what's happening?
Speaking of FSU, what's going on with that?
Oh, FSU.
Mike Norvell.
Big news out of Tallahassee the other day. They're waiting till
Yeah, I mean,
out of the AD, I forgot his name.
They're waiting.
They're doing a comprehensive
evaluation
assessment at the end of the
At the
season.
end of the
At least they did that.
Which means I don't have $53 million.
We don't have any money. I mean, at least they did that. And then, if you look at UNC, a team that has had a lot of trouble with their first-year head coach, they announced and they're like, yeah, no, we're doubling down on Bill Belichick, which is not a bad decision. I think it's really fun he's wearing a Patriots jersey for them.
Yeah, I mean, game might have passed Billy B by, but that's what you get when you don't post Drake May highlights.
There you go.
I did see that. That was very interesting.
Highlights. But yeah, I mean, that's the interesting landscape of college football right now is you have teams that were supposed to be very good. Preseason polls probably put them a bit higher than where they're at now. But yeah, Alabama looks really good.
Alabama does.
Alabama does
They're
look good.
doing what Alabama does.
Ty Simpson looks like a really good quarterback.
Oh yeah.
I mean, coming into the season, people were like, "Is this guy real?" I mean, and then after the first game, they're like, "Oh, it's not real." And then I think that was just kind of on the defense in that game.
Yeah.
And I think it was just like you didn't see FSU as this kind of worthy opponent, considering they went 2-10 last year.
And this is the first season. I don't know if it was last season. This is the first season without Saban, or is last season?
Last
Last
season
season the first
was.
season without Saban. Okay. So I mean, still, you're getting used to a whole new scheme. The dynasty's changed now. So
Well, this is the issue in college football that's going on right now, where it's like, especially with literally like every coach in the world has gotten fired. It seems
pretty much.
Or
Yeah.
it's just the thing of you have to give these people some time.
Oh yeah.
Like DeBoer comes from Washington to Alabama, and all Alabama fans have ever known is Nick Saban. And
Yeah.
they're like, what did they go? 8-4?
Yeah.
Last year, yeah.
Perfectly
Or
reasonable
9
season.
Yeah, 8-4.
We went 8-4.
Yeah.
Fired DeBoer.
Yeah.
8-4.
It's what happens. People, especially when you're a team like Alabama.
Penn State made the college football
No,
semifinals last year. They've been 10-2 every year for like a decade now.
There's no way that you can be a fan of Penn State and think it's a good idea to fire James Franklin.
One loss to UCLA.
Literally, you make the
They're
playoff, you make the semifinals, you lose to UCLA, and now you're like, I'm going to fire this guy and then pay him $50 million.
I mean, I don't know who made that contract, but
Like,
interesting decision.
yeah.
If he gets fired, we still have to pay him
Yeah,
50 mil, and he can go coach anywhere.
I think I
High
would
school?
I'd give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, all right, you had an off year, right? Like, I'm not going to fire him. I mean, the Billy Napier thing makes more sense.
Napier
That
had
makes
to
so-
go.
It makes
Napier
more
needed to go.
sense.
That makes more
But,
sense.
I mean, that was the thing. Like when Clemson, obviously now nobody cares about Clemson, but when they started to lose, it was this whole thing of like, oh, fire Dabo. Hey, he's been really good for like a really long time. I mean, he needs to make some adjustments for sure, but like fire him.
Oh, and it's so funny because big schools too. It always irks me. It's like they have like a rough start to a season, like in Alabama, and they're like, "We gotta get rid of DeBoer. We gotta rid of Dabo." It's like you're Clemson. You're gonna be fine. like things aren't like if you're a UAB fan and you're like, "We gotta get rid of Trent Dilfer." I'm like, okay, I get it, right? You're a UAB fan. Like it makes sense. Us. I started here when Jeff Scott was just hired on. I got to see that happen.
Yikes.
He's a real estate agent now, so I think there's sort of a thing where I can respect smaller teams for being upset, but if you're a Penn State student and you're like, I'm so glad Franklin's gone, I think it's time to kind of pump the brakes.
Well,
do some self-evaluation.
That's the thing where it's like, here's the thing. Listen, I completely understand the entire point. James Franklin can't win the big game. you're not going to win any games.
No.
You're not going to, I mean, what, you want to hire Billy Napier?
No, and
I
then
heard he needs a job.
the conversations become like, yeah,
Not
we
just
want
Billy
Lane.
Napier.
We want Lane Kiffin. It's like, you think
not
he's gonna
leaving.
leave?
He's not leaving.
The SEC? Like, I don't understand these sort of ridiculous. Like, yeah, I think we can get him. I think we can get Kirby Smart. It's like, okay, what are we doing? Like,
I would really love to share this with you guys. It was something I saw on the very journalistically accredited app of TikTok.
Oh yeah,
the other day.
that's where I get all mine.
And it was a Florida fan, and he said that his shortlist for his five people that he wanted to coach next: Lane Kiffin, which like not happening.
Nah, it's
for
not
sure.
gonna
Interesting.
Marcus Freeman,
Okay.
again, not happening.
Why? Yeah.
James Franklin, which like okay, whatever. I mean,
You know.
I don't think it should, but I guess I could see it.
Could happen, right?
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer? No
and,
way.
And
John Gruden.
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow. Yeah.
Tim Tebow?
Tim Tebow.
Yeah, I saw a very similar
He's a-
list, but it had John Gruden, and I was like, "Are we having this conversation?"
He's a backup tight end on the
Yeah.
Jaguars like 4 years ago.
That was
He had a stint
insane.
playing for the Mets, so,
And not the Mets.
and yeah,
they're like minor league affiliate.
double A team.
But
I thought that was nuts when
realistically.
Yeah,
realistically,
it was like an MJ thing, you know, playing
Yeah,
a bit of
and-
baseball.
yeah. I
But
mean,
also when he went to the Jags, I was like,
Oh yeah,
tight end Tim
Tight end.
Tebow?
yeah, man.
we'll remember.
That's what's going to save the career is the lateral move. You
Oh,
move-
yeah.
that's what saves your career.
from the Mets to the
And
Jaguars.
Urban Meyer was coaching then too, right? When he brought him back?
That time, yeah.
Urban
I think-
Meyer was coaching.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't have a successful stint with
No,
the
he
Jaguars.
did
That's for
not.
sure.
Maybe
did
3
not.
wins.
Maybe.
I
Was that
think he
Blake
got
Bortles?
fired before. No, that was
it was
after Blake
Yeah, it was
Bortles.
Bortles.
That was
The start of Trevor Lawrence, no? Yeah,
Oh,
it was the start of
It
Trevor
was the
Lawrence.
beginning of Trevor Lawrence. Okay. He was still playing at that time? He was tight end or like backup tight end? for the Jags?
They brought him back.
He was like spring camp,
Oh, okay, like
fourth
a
string
practice.
tight
Okay.
end, and then they were like, "Yeah, man, I'm
think
sorry. You're like,
that's so
dude, you're like
strange.
35. Give it
Yeah,
up."
it's like, what are you doing? Don't you have a kid?
But no, I mean,
Just go sit on a board. And
that
just
has
talk about
been
football.
that has been crazy to see with the way. I mean, the way that Florida fans have been kind of insistent. Lane Kiffin is about to get. I mean, what Signetti just got $11 million a year.
Yeah,
Lane
no.
Kiffin is about to get maybe $1 billion a year to stay at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
and also they're doing well. Like, what's the purpose of it?
Why would
like,
you
at
leave
least
to a-
Franklin's in a vacancy. It's
Yeah.
like at least he needs to go somewhere. Talking about that, or like people at Penn State being like, "Well, yeah, we could probably get like Kirby Smart." It's like I don't understand what we're talking about. Like
Ryan Day.
yeah,
Ryan Day?
He just won a national championship.
Did someone really say that?
I've seen a lot of
we
people
could
say
get
they
Pete
want
Carroll
Ryan
if
Day.
we just got him out of the NFL.
I don't know.
I'll hire John Gruden.
That's the one that people, because he did that speech at whatever Kentucky,
Oh, yeah.
and was like, I want to watch him play football till I die. And then now everyone's like, yeah, John Gruden could coach the Gators. It's like, yeah, he could. Is he gonna do well? I mean, I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, he's definitely got the knowledge. I love watching him.
I love
talk
John Gruden as much as
football
the next
Yeah.
guy.
all the time.
Love
But
John Gruden.
The
Kinda-
issue. No, I can't say the issue with John Gruden.
no, I don't.
What
We'll skip
the-
past
It's been
that.
20 years.
emails. What?
Hopefully, we can get Gruden on this podcast.
Yeah,
He's
That
a
would be
he's a
cool.
Should we ask
loyal
him about
South
the
Florida
emails?
fan.
asking about the
Probably not.
I saw the same thing. This might probably have to get cut out, but people talking about like, yeah, can we just forgive Jim Leavitt after all this time? And it's like, I don't know. He smacked the shit out of somebody. I'm like, I don't know, man.
He smacked Joe Miller so hard he died 8 years later.
Yeah, it's
Completely
like-
unrelated. by the
Completely
way.
unrelated, though.
It's just like, I don't know, you know?
Kind of speaking about some of those vacancies that we've been rambling on about over here. We last week, the Bulls head coach Alex Golesh, he had a long-winded talk about that. Obviously, asked about it.
It was long. It was like 5 minutes, right? It
was like 10.
It was a long.
It was like a 10-minute thing.
Was it originally? Was it someone asking him a question? or
Joey
was it
Knight.
Joey Knight asked
Joey
him.
Knight from
Okay,
Tampa Bay
I
Times.
just saw the clip on
No,
Twitter.
yeah, that was like 2 minutes of the whole 10 minutes. But it was really insightful on the fact that it genuinely seems like he wants to stay at South Florida.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, we tweeted about that, and all of our responses have been, "Money talks.
Yeah.
Money
and
does talk.
Money does talk."
I think we do a lot of especially as a lot of the fan space does a lot of like covering your ears and just going la la la, especially when conversations about head coaches start happening. But if he has success in the G5, it is understandable that
we'll get these.
he's going to get these offers.
Yeah, he's going to get offers. Will he take them?
That's sort of the big question.
It's up to him.
So here's
What's weird about, just to move on from this thing, is I think what's weird about Florida having 2 vacancies is now it's like on our home turf, right? Or potentially going to have 2 vacancies. Obviously, FSU is in the conversation about going to happen. It does seem like it's going to happen. Mike Norvell has really not had a lot of success there, and then now Billy Napier's gone. That seems like a very easy step up if you're already familiar with recruiting from this area of the country.
Yeah, I think the issue. I think here's my take. Here's the unbiased me take. I don't see a world where Alex Golesh leaves just because of the fact of sure USF is G5, but like not for long.
We're on that cusp.
You've got
that's the benefit.
More years
definitely
until you're in the
big things
at
are
least coming. ACC. Maybe, I mean, I don't know about the Big Ten.
Big things coming.
No, I know, yeah. I just had to throw it out there. I think it's so funny. I would like the Big 12. I want to play UCF again. I think everyone wants to play UCF again. I think that's a rivalry it sucks not having good rivalries in college football.
If you are a South Florida fan, I think everyone wants them to play UCF again.
Yeah. But I think the issue is that you kind of like, here's the thing. Big 12, Oklahoma and Texas list like Big 12 is like, what is this conference? Who is in this conference?
It's such a strange
ACC
move.
would be like your dream destination because you're not going to SEC. It's not going to happen. The Big 10, as much as some might say it's going to happen, no, I don't know that the Big 10 is going to come calling just yet. But like for Golesh, it's like you have this job at South Florida, and you seemingly kind of can do whatever you want. You kind of have complete control. Obviously, now you have Higgins coming in, who seems like he has the tools to put everything in motion to kind of make this a national program. You have the recruiting place. I think South Florida can offer him probably the most money out of the group of 5. I don't know, but
I think it's very much on USF as a university to put the money on the table.
They need to.
Need
to give him a blank check.
Yeah,
pretty much. What can we do to keep you here? Because through his 3 years,
for the foreseeable future,
he's been. Obviously 7-6, but you're 6-1 right now with a shot at the college football playoff. If you would have said that to a South Florida fan at the beginning of the year, I think they would have been like, no,
not going to happen. I mean, just even on the smaller scale, I've always been about the smaller scale for me because, this whole idea of conference realignment and coaches has been a huge thing forever. We've never won an American conference final ever as a football program. So to even being in the conversation again is a really good sign. And if that does happen this year, makes him look like someone that you do need to make into a legacy at the University of South Florida.
And you very easily could be. Obviously, there's controversy surrounding other legacy coaches here, but outside of Jim Leavitt, there's really not a guy. Who's the guy?
No.
You have like what? Charlie Strong,
probably that era. But that was also because you had
like 2 years.
Yeah, you had Quentin Flowers, right?
Yeah,
that was
you don't really have a guy. You don't have the guy.
Yeah,
he's already like 4th in the school's history for wins. He's like 20. I know Leavitt has 95, so like there's a big jump there.
Yeah, big jump.
But you could look at the tenure.
You could ultimately become. I don't want to say this prematurely, but there's a shot where you are in. If you stay here if you become like a Mike Gundy and you're just here forever.
Oh yeah, you're here forever.
Because when would you get rid of him if he has even slightly the success that he's having now?
No, exactly.
South Florida football has been very interesting, but like that was the thing where it's like you look at the Florida fans and they go, or like Alabama fans, and they go 8-4 and barely miss the college football playoff. And they're like, oh, what a bad season. I mean, you were here for Jeff Scott.
Yeah.
If you went 8-4 and barely missed the college football playoff, you're like, wow, guys, we'll get them next year.
I was happy. We played the what was it? The
ReliaQuest Bowl.
Was it the ReliaQuest Bowl? The ReliaQuest Bowl at FAU.
No,
Stadium.
the Boca Bowl. The
Boca Bowl.
Raton.
That's what it was. Then the Hawaii Bowl against San Jose State. Was it 7 overtimes?
5.
Christmas Eve.
That was it was a fun game.
But that was sick. It's like watching that after. I remember one year we literally only beat Citadel. That was one year. We literally only beat Citadel. And then the year before that, I think we only beat Howard. So
Yeah.
When you watch a team like that, especially too, the worst part of that is you have guys on that team like Jimmy Horn Jr., who's in the NFL now, and you see them go to UCF and have a great college career, or not UCF, he went to Colorado. Had a great college career, and you're like, okay, so it totally was just star coaching. Like, it was just Jeff Scott.
Yeah,
as
and
a
then
coach.
they got rid of that. Golesh comes in, and obviously the talk about him going to P4 now, he's been joking about it recently. Not just him, Rob Higgins, he's not taking it too lightly. I mean, every time we've talked to him, he's like, "Oh, I'm open to talking about it. I think in a few years you'll definitely see it happen." And obviously the new presidential finalist, just approved by Board of Trustees this morning, waiting for Florida Board of Governors, I think. Yeah. He also said it. He's like, he doesn't seem afraid of P4 at all whatsoever. And then Golesh made a joke earlier at his press conference today. There's like his piece of paper was taped down, and he said very P4 worthy. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I think the big thing is that sometimes fans don't realize that like money of course talks. And if which won't happen, by the way. But like if
he'll get money this year.
He'll get money from
I have his contract up right now.
he'll get money from
He's gonna
USF.
need an extension.
But the thing is that like if Florida comes and offers you a wagon load of money, obviously you have to take it. But the thing is that with a team like Florida or like a team like Penn State, you can look at like James Franklin. 10-2 is not enough.
No.
Alex Golesh had 2 years of going 7-6. You do that at Florida. A team like South Florida, like a fan base like South Florida, can understand. Hey, you need time to rebuild. You need time. Florida, I mean, obviously with Napier, no, there is no time. If you're not successful in year one, look at DeBoer. DeBoer went 8-4 last year.
Yeah, and they were going for his head. I mean,
they were like, get him out of here. We don't want him in Tuscaloosa.
No, yeah.
It's like it is insane how some of these P4 jobs are. If you go to Florida or something, you have obviously the resources, but you also have like the immediate. You need to succeed now. And Golesh seems like from what I can tell, from what we've talked to him, kind of seen with him, is that he seems like a culture guy. He understands that it takes a little bit to build up these things. At the beauty of a school like USF is you get to go to there and implement your own culture. At Florida, you don't. It's Florida's culture.
It's Florida's culture.
You have to take it on. And I mean, what has Florida's culture done for them in the past however many years? But they are stubborn in their ways. They're going to do what they can. I don't see it happening this coaching cycle, but
no,
I think it'll happen. I mean, I think he's waiting around for the stadium. I mean, I don't see why not.
I think he'll get whatever extension is offered. And I think he will take it because, like you said, why go to a conference where you're not guaranteed to really have the same success you had here and have people be okay with it? And the other thing I think, too, is, and not to get, like, emotional about this, but I think it's hard to not get emotional in situations like this as a student or just as a fan. But you look at when he came in and built this program, it was around the same time that Amir was still alive. And the stuff that they were able to do, not just as coaches in the recruiting room, on the field, or on the court, but as culture builders on a campus that has been mocked as a commuter school and is mocked as a school that doesn't have spirit, is amazing. And we packed the YC, we packed Raymond James. It was like it made it fun to be a USF student, and I think I think he even knows that if he turned his back on it this early, it would leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth because of what he's been able to give the university in terms of like being proud of going here and what we're able to do.
And it wouldn't make sense from the point of you're on the cusp of so much. You're on the cusp of Power 4 realignment. I mean, that's coming up in a few years. That's going to happen. Obviously, 20 years ago, USF dropped the ball, no on-campus stadium. But now you're kind of getting to where maybe this program should have been in 2007 when Levitt was having his success that made him, whether you like it or not, the undeniable greatest coach in USF football history. 95 wins. I mean, it's like triple, almost quadruple what other coaches have.
You're completely right. We really just fell outside of when the Big East fell apart. We just fell outside we fell on the wrong side of it. We fell into the American, which is fine. I don't hate the American Conference. I think as a conference it's fine. I don't mind moving to the ACC. I really like the Big 12 because UCF's there. But I wouldn't mind going anywhere else. I wouldn't want to go to the Pac, but
They already
Yeah,
said
they
that.
already. I
said
mean, USF already said no.
was not. I was so glad when that happened. I did not want that to happen. That was just a nightmare. But I think I agree with you. I think Golesh is going to stay, but I think at some point there'll be a changing of the guard. It's just a matter of whenever there's a lateral movement.
You just have to give him a lot of money
At
this point.
Whole bag of
But
money.
the issue is that even like Indiana, just like I said this earlier, but Indiana just gave Kurt Signetti $11.3 million a year.
Yeah.
I don't know what the financial situation in USF athletics looks like, but I really, really, really doubt it looks like $11.3 million a year. And obviously that's not like Golesh isn't. I don't know that Golesh is Signetti levels of relevance or anything.
But you can imagine it's going to be fractional. At least
But
makes sense
it
relationally.
can get there.
What was his first contract? Do we have any information on how much he got?
Let's see. I've got it up right here. I think it's $500K. Let's see.
Something to scoff at, but
Yeah.
Signetti made $11 million. It's like
Yeah, for base salary, it's $500K plus benefits, and there's a whole list of stuff here.
I know one of
there's
those
a lot of
benefits is make it to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's in here.
There's probably a lot of bonus opportunities.
But he also
bowl
there's
games.
there.
Yeah, bowl game appearance for non-college football playoff is $25K. Bowl game win is $50K. So
So he's made
he's got
50K twice in a row.
yeah, he's got $100K in the past 2 years.
Good for
and
you.
a
The
college
interesting-
football first round appearance or bye, they get 100. He gets 150K.
Do they have a clause in there if we win the national championship?
Yeah, they do.
They definitely do, but it won't
Championship game win, he gets 250K.
It's not even that much.
happen. Like, that's still half your salary.
I mean, I guess.
I know.
but like, it feels a little.
But like, if you think an extension's got to look like what, $1 million a year?
It's got to be close
gotta
because
be.
you have to give him because obviously he has the reason of like, oh, I love Tampa, my family's here, this is where I want. But like, if Florida gives you $3 million a year, $4 million a year, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, I love Tampa, but I'm making $500,000 a year compared to $4 million.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, and Mithil, look for this. There is a clause in his contract that states something about if Michael Kelly is no longer the athletic director.
I do remember. I saw that in
That's
Hodgson's
true.
contract because I was looking at it the other day, but
That is
I'm
true.
not 100% sure.
I mean, Rob Higgins seems to be pretty behind everything that was going on at the time that he got hired on. I like him. I think he's a good face for the university. I think he's as an AD looks or whatever they're calling it now,
CEO of athletics.
CEO of athletics.
It's a great role.
I like that,
Or it's a
yeah.
great title for kind of how everything he's explained from I think 4 or 5 times I've talked to him now.
Yeah.
Everything that he talks about is what
Well,
he envisions for USF as a
so
business itself.
Here's an actually very interesting thing I actually just pulled up from the USF Oracle's. This is actually from Clinton, our former editor-in-chief in
That was before
2002.
wow.
That is, I thought it was Noah Vinsky, but this is a very deep cut. But it says right here that, so Golesh actually, it says, I'll just read it. Coach Alex Golesh will receive $2.5 million for each of the first 3 years of his 6-year contract. It's $500,000 base pay and $2 million in supplemental pay, which includes media appearances, promotional activities, and fundraising events. But this is very interesting. Conversely, should Golesh accept a different coaching position next year, he would pay the university $3 million. The number gradually decreases each year until it reaches $500,000 in 2028. So he would have to give back money to the university
So you have
to join.
to join a different.
And if the Bulls join a Power 5 conference at the time, now Power 4, Golesh's salary would increase to $1 million annually. So there's a lot. It seems like
There's a lot
there's a
there.
lot of incentive to stay.
Yeah, and that, I think
Yeah.
now that we kind of have looked into that, it's a little more clear as to why he's saying everything. But I think genuinely he does want to stay.
No, I agree. I think he genuinely wants to stay. Obviously, there is factors like that are going to motivate him to also be very willing to stay. But
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pay $1.5 million
Yeah, I wouldn't
to
wanna
go
do
to
that.
because the other
unless
school's
Penn
going to have
State
to
was
pay
like,
that.
we're going to give you $15 million to come here,
Which
it's like,
they're not because now they have to pay
James
yeah,
Franklin,
they're
$50
paying
million.
50
$50 million.
for how many years? Couple of years.
Well, it's going to take them a while. I mean,
Quite unfortunate for them.
but we should go
honestly.
to the Big Ten.
Big Ten.
Yeah, Big Ten. Big
Does
Tens
the
are
Big
coming.
Ten want?
But no, yeah, I think he looks good. I think he's gonna stay. I think we have a really good thing going here. I also like Brian Hodgson.
Yeah, good segue.
I think he's good. Yeah, let's talk about men's basketball.
Yeah,
Why
good
not?
segment. I mean,
Yeah.
officially underway starting this Friday.
And
Oh my
Leo,
gosh,
an exhibition.
Exhibition
that's so
exhibition match.
Exhibition match for
We
St.
will be
Leo.
covering it.
We will be. I will be in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah,
But after 2 seasons with Arkansas State, obviously he came from Alabama prior and Buffalo as well. He at his opening press conference for this season, I guess, he really did talk quite a bit about discipline and intensity. He said that he already saw some things that he's not sure about. I think he said, I'm not sure if we're good offensively or if we're good defensively. And I think it's just you kind of have to wait till you play other people.
Yeah.
But what has also been a little interesting that I want to ask him about when I talk to him tomorrow
oh sweet.
is when they posted on social media, when the Athletics posted on social media, they posted, thanks Cleveland Cavaliers and Miami Heat.
Yeah, I was.
Are those open runs or are they scrimmaging?
Well,
or?
apparently they scrimmaged with the Miami Hurricanes.
I did hear about that.
That
they
was
played the Hurricanes.
A closed door scrimmage.
Yeah.
Which
But that
means-
was a weird thank you Cavaliers post that one time. I was
Remember the
interesting.
thank you Adam Sandler post?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
going
was.
on?
I was
Balling with Adam Sandler and them big basketball shorts must be sick.
Yeah.
Be so into it.
Shrink the game.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, he's got a good record playing at Arkansas State or coaching Arkansas
yeah,
State. I mean,
45 and 28, 2 seasons.
had a great run in the NIT at the end of the year. I think that's a coach that you can really get behind. It reminds me of Amir a little bit, at least record-wise, coming out of Kennesaw State. He did bring guys like Amir did.
Yeah, I think literally all of the guys are new except
Almost that.
to Deontay Green and
Yeah.
This is an entirely new
CJ
basketball
Brown.
team.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
CJ Brown,
Yeah, I
sorry.
mean,
Because everyone had come from that Amir time, and after Amir died,
that's
and
understandably-
Fletcher took it. They all dipped.
Yeah, moved on. I mean, I think we talked about that even when I was here for that, that season kind of has a weird asterisk next to it just because of the tragedy that happened. But looking forward, I mean, Damian Collins, this center coming from LSU, I think he's now heavier than what he was on the recruiting. So I think he's like around 200, 210. So
He's
I think
listed
put some-
6'9", 200.
Yeah.
he's a big guy. I saw him. He was at the press
He's
conference.
still very tall.
Obviously, I'm not a big guy. I was just sitting like
I know,
a couple
yeah.
of feet away from him, and he's towering over me still.
But he looked like he had good minutes at LSU. He looks like there's a lot of potential there for him to have some fun. Same thing with Joseph Pinion. I think that's how you say his
Yep,
name.
I think so.
Coming from Arkansas, as well as I believe it's Isaiah. Yeah, Isaiah Nelson.
Isaiah Nelson.
Who had a really good run at the end of the year. So, a lot of really fun talent, really explosive. But I think I agree with him where you don't really know if the team's going to be good on either side of the court, depending on how they're going to play in actual
I
play,
mean-
which in schedule wise looks really interesting. I mean, we do play Alabama.
I
number
will
15
most likely be there.
Number 15 Alabama. Mithil will be there.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting.
We're traveling. This section is traveling.
Dude, it's
yeah.
so cool. You guys are traveling to this stuff. The UF game must have been so cool.
It was scary. We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not built for this.
I would have been like ripping my chair apart.
I felt like
Electricity.
Penn State,
Yeah.
Yeah, we were shaking in the press box.
But when you look at the men's preseason poll, they have us second.
Second, yeah.
Behind Memphis, Penny Hardaway's Memphis.
But Memphis lost a lot. They lost Haggerty.
They did. They did lose some people.
Kansas, I think, which I don't know that I understand.
We do have to play them twice at the end of the year, which I think is really strange that we play them basically 2 games apart. Yeah. Memphis is February 19th.
Kansas
and then
State.
March.
Yeah, PJ Haggerty transferred from Memphis to Kansas State.
It's interesting.
Not sure I get it. He was
Yeah.
like the highest ranked transfer in the portal, and went to Kansas State. So
Interesting decision,
K-State.
but good for
Manhattan,
him.
Go
Kansas.
Wildcats.
But-
The little apple.
Not just men's basketball,
That's literally what they call it. They literally call it the little apple. That's so funny.
but yeah, not just men's basketball. Women's basketball won the conference last year.
Won the conference, coming back.
Projected to win it again.
Yeah.
I think it's the sixth
Coach's poll put them
or seventh season that they're projected to win it again.
with a basically brand new cast as well.
Again, like
Carla Brito is still there. She's going to be most likely a first team or like preseason first team is what they have.
and Putu's still there, but
Yeah.
a completely different and
Yeah,
really interesting vibe that they've got going over there.
I think basketball will be very interesting with.
Because you just don't know.
Yeah, it's just kind of like
have no idea what's
they're
going
not
on.
like
Yeah, it's just kind of.
it doesn't seem like a rebuild itself. It just or is starting from scratch. It's just like these are obviously Jose Fernandez has been
I'm
here.
about to say, yeah, Coach Jose Fernandez has just had such a legacy here as a women's basketball coach that I kind of just trust him to do whatever he wants. And I think it'll work out.
Well, a lot of them are almost all of them are overseas, like recruits that are coming over here.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see because these are just people that like not super up to date on my high school women's basketball, but you hear about people every now and again, and it's like these are just kind of I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah,
but that's what makes it so interesting. That's what I enjoy about women's basketball.
Yeah, women's
Especially
basketball.
collegiate.
Yeah,
women's
they'll
basketball.
be super interesting this year. Obviously, last year they played multiple top teams. They beat Duke in that
I remember that.
surprise upset.
That was so
But
sick.
they play UConn again,
South Carolina.
South Carolina
South Carolina.
again, Duke again.
They're running through the ringer.
They've never shied away from good challenges. I mean, it was a demoralizing end of the season, first round against Tennessee. They played that weird up tempo where they're constantly coming off their bench.
Very interesting.
They literally none of their players broke 15 minutes. It was insane, but that's very impressive. But it's a team that is exciting. A chance to win the American again. It's been the most exciting, consistent team we've had, or USF has had. So
they actually play UConn at home.
Yeah,
and South Carolina.
They play both of them
That'll
here.
be a big ticket.
Duke. They play Duke at home. Wow.
I think all of them are here.
What an interesting.
Or is Duke away?
Duke's at home.
Duke's here.
They play Duke, South Carolina, and UConn all in the Yuengling Center.
All big games.
If you're a
all
USF
games.
student and you're listening, you should go to one of those.
You should probably go to all three.
should go to
Why
all
not?
three.
You
Those
get free
are-
tickets. That's
You
going to
do
be
get
really
free
cool.
tickets.
I mean, you get to see some high tier women's basketball going on.
Definitely.
It's a very interesting schedule, but that's been kind of Fernandez's thing. Just
He's just kind of he does that. He knows.
But that's
all
what
of us.
happens because then last year you get the one against Duke, and then you find yourself in March Madness doing.
Well, I was about to say that's sort of I mean, look at everything that USF does. The men's team is playing a 15 Alabama in December. What did we do at the beginning of the season? We played a preseason favorite, Florida,
Went on
for
to
football.
win the national. Oh, I thought you were talking about last season.
No, I just mean across the
Florida
board.
football did not win the national.
No. I think it's great because we across the board USF, every coach in every competitive sport has gone and been like, hey, we're gonna play big teams because we want to win big games and on big stages. So
yeah, what I was saying was that last season USF men's basketball. The first game was against Florida in Jacksonville. Florida then went on to win the national championship.
Yeah, but that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was good.
That was good. That was good.
What was that about?
That was a good game. I mean,
it was a good game.
That was a great game.
And it fed a lot of people on Twitter when they got to mention that USF lost by 10.
Yeah. It's like we were this close. We had a lead at one point. We literally had a lead at one point. I was very excited.
Stop the count.
Stop the count.
But I think that'll do it for us today. Obviously, great to have you on, Will.
It was awesome
talking FAU Memphis preview. Golesh possibly leaving.
Yeah.
AP
poll again. And men's and women's basketball. Obviously, men's starts Friday. So
yeah, it's early. I didn't even realize we're already into basketball.
Mm-hmm.
NBA starts today too. But yeah, no, it's been great. Excited. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, definitely. But thank you to the dear viewer listening. This has definitely been our longest episode, but we definitely had, I think, the most fun on this one. But yeah, go check out usforacle.com.